and played the video. And now we are live. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
We have, okay, and this is funny. Not funny, hello, and we will explain. So it's 2:22 right now, and 2
Wow.
is my number. And it's really interesting, you guys. We started on time and we played my intro. I turned down the volume. I saw us being live. I even saw people saying hello. Did I not?
I know, I thought so
I am
too.
I am so sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. We are now live, and I'm seeing us on YouTube Live.
Yeah, I
I
see
was
live now too. That is so weird. And usually I would notice that.
Oh
We
my
have even
goodness.
been pulling up people's chat
We
onto.
literally
We've been even starring your comments and putting them up and talking to you. And I was wondering why no one was commenting
I
on what
kind
we
of
were
was as well.
saying.
And then I was knowing that I saw an audience and it was going down, and I was like, okay, I know there's other things going on. Well, here we are. That's a first for me.
Interesting. Isn't that interesting?
I don't know what to make of it other than here we are. We were not live, and now we are live.
Now we're
So
live.
I guess we were just doing a little bit of a practice run, which is okay.
Now I won't remember anything I said, but
Totally. Oh my goodness. Thank you all for being here. This
so
is
sorry about that, you
exciting.
guys.
I'm just going to go with it and we're going to just start again. I'm Kevin, the Healing Medium, and thank you so much for being here. I am so excited today. I feel like this is deja vu because
It's like really awkward.
it's awesome. I mean, this stuff happens to me. This stuff just happens to be the most organized you can be, and like all your
Yeah,
crossing all
we
your
got here
T's and
beforehand, got it all going.
oh, chat family, thank you for being here. This is so wonderful. I'm
That's
so
so
excited.
funny.
I've never had Debbie on my channel. So Freebird Spirit, if you're not familiar with her, which I would be surprised if you were not, she is here for the first time. And so how we're going to do this show is we are gonna do some questions kind of in the second half. I'm gonna ask a few questions just to get to know Debbie a little bit better. And I mean,
Oh
we
my
can't
gosh.
even blame it on Mercury retrograde. But there you
We
go.
can't even. I know. We
No,
can't even.
I just have to own it. So there you are. My apologies for technically being late, y'all. Thank you for sticking around, coming back. Chris and
Oh, you
Lisa
guys.
Foster, they were kind of making comments, but I was like, are they talking about
I
something
know,
else?
but I was surprised
Anyways,
that they weren't because usually they're
yeah,
Lisa and they're all very responsive to what we're being a
yeah,
part of the
conversation.
conversation. Yeah, I was wondering.
Oh, Debbie, my goodness. Well, welcome. This will be a this will be a memorable visit.
Well, next time I'm going to be looking at that. Are we live?
Totally. Well, that's why because remember when I tried to star the thingy and then I took it away,
Yeah,
even with the question, you were like, because it was weird, that's never happened, but you helped me along. Anyways, we're
done.
here and we're gonna keep going with it. So Debbie, I would love you to talk about your channel. You also have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Just tell us kind of what you've got going on your channel. Whatever you'd like to share again about that.
Okay, so let's do this again. So,
Throwing the
no, I'm just kidding.
we
All right,
needed
so
this.
guys, yeah, so he asked me before, kind of like, when did I start my YouTube channel? What did that look like? And kind of where it's gone to since the beginning. Now, I feel like a couple of you have been with me from the beginning. But I don't know if you remember back at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, when I was doing that traveling tarot card of the day and then doing little messages and stuff. And that's kind of how I started. And Kevin, I know we are similar in this, and there's so much more to just bringing messages and stepping into the energy and doing that. There's this human connection and awakenings and just there's so many layers to this, and it's such a beautiful spiritual journey that I wanted to share. I wanted to be a part of that and connect with people. And the only way to do it back in the day, before YouTube, was if you threw your name into Penny Saver, right? And put a little thing in there and said, I do readings. But this is how to do it now. So, but I had my 2 followers for forever because no one cares about that. And I say that jokingly. Of course, we all care about that, but what ignites us is things that we're passionate about in the moment, and like a quick view of that, and making connections that way. So, that kind of led me into doing the political readings, because that's what we all wanted to know. I was doing it at home anyways on my own. So I thought, oh, well, we all want to know. So I'll share this, and hopefully that'll help grow my channel. I've been a slow growing channel, which I'm okay with, in that I had to do some growing because I'm an extreme introvert. I'm shy and I'm very sensitive. So y'all know in the family what we see come through sometimes on chats. We get, I don't know about you, Kevin, but I get emails and all kinds of things, and with a lot of opinions or whatever they want to say to you. People, when you put yourself out there like this, it kind of opens the door that people feel like they have permission to say whatever they want to you, right?
Yeah.
So it took me a minute to get through that. There's been many times where I'm like, I'm never going back on again. You know what I mean? I have gotten through that. All that being said, I have always kind of felt that my guides, my spirit team, have gently grown my channel for me. But I feel like I'm ready now for it to grow more. So if you haven't subscribed, please do.
Yes, please do. All
The numbers count.
They do. A couple things there. Yes, all of Debbie's information for her channel, Freebird Spirit, is in the description, as well as her website, where she has different offerings that we will talk about. If you would like to work with her in different capacities, there is all of that information of the how-to on her website. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing about being.
And do you notice the chat now? This makes much more
involved.
sense. Thank you for. I thought no one's listening.
I know.
No one's responding when we were on before, and you guys weren't here.
Oh gosh,
That's hilarious.
we were just doing a practice run. But I relate in that putting yourself out there to be seen. It does, for some people, give them the feeling that they can say anything about anything. And there's, I've never been one to kind of latch on to like growing a thick skin because I don't have one. And I'm so sensitive in everything that people say, and whether that's good or not so good, in that I always remind myself that they too are just wanting to be seen. And in that, it allows me to, and we don't have to respond to everything. And there's sometimes where people just, probably cross the line. And this is a part that we were actually saying when we thought we were live, is that what keeps us in it is the community, the chat family, and the people, because the majority of the support and kind of just that feeling of they have your back is so beautiful.
It is amazing. I can't tell you. And I say it all the time. I love this family. I love our community, and it's a shared experience, 100%. And and I love what you said, Kevin, there about the thick skin. And we don't have to grow a thick skin. That's not who we are. But we can understand that, we're all having a human experience. And if something comes in that kind of hits you, it's okay to kind of step back and go, okay, this is probably where that might be coming from. And I don't need to accept that, but I definitely am not going to, I don't agree with growing a thick skin.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, that's the thing where we've learned, where it makes me think about when people are in their upset and they're crying, and we just go in and want to, like,
Yeah.
console and make them feel better. It's the same with the thick skin, as people just trying to, like, help other people. But it's just something that I've never latched onto.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about your abilities. When did you start to recognize your awakened abilities, your gifts?
So yeah, these abilities, however you want to, because I'm one of those people that everybody has them. I just remember, you know what I mean? I remember being that kid and all this, everything because it was important. I feel so we all start out as psychic mediums, right? And then we tend to kind of block it off as life goes on. I didn't. I kind of held on to it because it was it actually became my place. I lived in the in-between because it was actually safer for me. And so I kind of kept with it, and I knew there was more. And I think we talked a little bit about this before. And this is where, I met my guides. I knew them on a personal level because I needed to. However, I didn't have any of this language. So if you asked me at 7 years old, I wouldn't have been able to say, "Oh, I'm just talking to my guides and my protector." I wouldn't have any of that language. I would just, this is how it was. And I lived within my own little space because it was safe there. As time went on, because this was a very spiritual experience for me, and I knew there was more, I continually sought more, and I questioned everything, in the boxed religions and like that. I tried. I think I went to every single type of church you can imagine, and just most of them were at beautiful communities and really did want to come from a place of love, but then they preached hate, or like there's just so many things that just didn't work. And I thought, what's but I continued to seek and know that there was more. And so by the time I was a professor, teach at a college, and I offered groups in my home for students to come, and I wanted them to know that, and this was a Christian college, so I wanted them to know that they could communicate with spirit and receive messages, and be able to provide that to other people, and in guidance and love and like that, so that they could do it themselves, because so many places kind of you pray and you walk away or whatever. No, this is a two-way, like, communication. You can receive messages, you can know things, you can be prepared for things. The world's changing. We need to know if should we go in that restaurant or not, so I had these groups, and so a lot of I didn't have the same languages that what we talk about here in all the clairvoyance and all the clairs and stuff. We had different words for it. So like knowing, or hands-on healing, or words of knowledge, that things like that. So it's just different language, same stuff, right?
Right.
And then it just kind of slowly developed more into, because again, I always sought to get out of the boxes. Once I felt like I was being boxed in and like, oh, no, we need to, it's, and so, and then it kind of led me to this path, which I feel is much more open. You're not getting stuck in constructs of old beliefs and stuff like that. Did I go overboard, you guys?
No, I love it. I love it. I love where it takes you, and it's always the right answer. Who would you attribute your spiritual kind of mentor or teachers? Who would that be?
That's interesting. So I feel like because when I was really little, I knew that I had one of my protectors, was Jesus, even though at that point I didn't know there was a Jesus. And so I always kind of sought that. And so when I've read, I don't know, I wouldn't have one person. It's been my own journey of understanding and little bits and pieces all over the place.
Right.
Of truth.
Yeah.
Because once you start following one person, doesn't it build a construct for you?
Yeah.
Or a box?
Yeah. And it makes me think about that layer of where we see ourselves in that, and not to say that we don't have teachers and mentors. Of course we do.
Right, everywhere.
And
Yes, everywhere. Yes.
and our own ability to be our own best teacher in that. There's that layer of it where we can go within to really unveil what is there by nature.
And I
then
think
that's
I have to, I'm sorry for interrupting, Kevin, because
No,
I
please.
understand I could meet, a street camper, and they could teach me some amazing spiritual concepts and awakenings. So there's been many teachers in my life,
Right.
many thousands.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're a teacher. The family here is a teacher. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So when
I
you
love
asked me
that.
to narrow it down,
Yeah, it's like
everybody is a teacher to me.
It's so
I am
true.
so willing to learn, and that's one thing, is waking up and wanting to learn today. What am I going to learn and awaken to today?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see who's going to teach me something. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to be my teacher today?
Yeah. And
One
that's
thing
testament to you. Sorry, go ahead.
So I feel like, okay, so we had shared a comment, and it was on the
I've got
screen
it.
before.
It's so funny because I found it and it actually stayed up there. So I
Okay.
want to go back to that because Kathleen, I don't know if you're still here or not, but
Yeah.
your question was, can Jesus be a guide? And we went through all of this already.
Yeah. So we've already been all this. So it feels like but you guys bear with us. It's all good. So this, and again, I spoke to that, that Jesus at the time, I knew him, and he was a protector. Now, as I do this work now, as I've grown into this, because I'm the boss, I don't want to be waking up anymore in the middle of the night. I don't want to see no one's tapping on my shoulder in the middle of the night and me opening my eyes and they're standing there. And none of that's happening because I've set up a gatekeeper, and Jesus is my gatekeeper. So I know that he is protecting me from any of these energies that don't fit my level or my energy level or whatever. I hate saying lower or higher. It just more, just different energy that I am not here to work with. And so I know that I'm protected from all that. I get to sleep through the night, you know what I mean? Like all that. And so I know that, when I'm stepping in the in-between to bring messages through, that I'm protected from any pesky energies coming in. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah,
So,
we're always in control.
Yeah.
And that's just an absolute, that we're always in control of what that looks like. And we get to set the parameters around it. always. And in that, it's like, yeah, we have to be responsible in that. And it's interesting that I was going to say earlier that it's like, it's such testament of who you are, Debbie, for yourself and for everyone, is that, and I love this, and I've used it many times, but leading with love and being in that open, expansive, like humanness, is we will have the opportunity to connect and learn from everyone. And we are not separate from anyone. So whether that be, other people, spirit, the deities, the gods, the divine, all of it, we are a part of that, whether we know it or not, we are. And so in that, yes, we learn from everybody. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm. So beautiful. Thank you all for being here. Lovely. This seems good. I'm glad that we found our way and that
Yes. Yes.
I've
Yes.
learned how to push the live button properly. Debbie, can you share with, actually, I want to just jump into, no, I'm going to do this question next. And share with us an experience that deeply and profoundly deepened your trust with spirit.
Wow. Again, it's just like nailing down to one. That's a big question, Kevin. Big question. But one in particular, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of just one, but the overall thing that's coming in for me in regards to this question is that I'm here. You know what I mean? That I'm here. I mean, there's just, I don't know. Let me think about that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. There's so many. And I love that even in that, I think is a great answer, that there are so many, because in the humanness of it, and that's what we're here for, it is to have that human experience. And we need those layers of those experiences to maintain. And maybe that looks different for other people, but I know myself that those things occur fairly often. And so they allow us to be deeper in that knowing. And to me, that's separate from all of our beliefs in the humanness. It's like, it's just that deeper knowing, that trust, that many things. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I'm still sitting there thinking,
I know, totally.
I know of one thing. It's almost like a precept on precept thing where it's like this little miracle opens up to this little miracle, and then it's just growing on itself to the point of like walking in full understanding that everything is just meant, and here you are having this experience, and you are connected to source and open to all kinds of miracles, or what you would call experiences, or divine experiences. So many divine experiences. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin. Yeah, that's a big question. What's yours?
I mean, again, that's great. I think of like all the readings, like it's like daily. Like I could go and I'm profoundly like moved by, the evidence that spirit will bring through my job. I try to keep my composure, but it's one of those things that I'm just in awe of their ability to take care of all of us, and none of us being excluded in that. So in all of the experiences, I go to my readings, I think of my experiences, seeing loved ones in their fullness after they passed. I mean, I think of I've done a lot of education, and my experience is a lot in the UK. I've sat in seance in physical, and seen physical phenomena that I was like, I still kind of go like, how is that even possible? That's what I'm
Right.
left with.
Oh, have you
And
been in like a physical mediumship thing
I
and seen
have,
that? Ooh,
yeah.
tell us, give us a little,
Oh my
tell us a little
goodness.
more about that.
So it was in the UK. It was at a retreat called Banyan Retreat, and it was a stormy night for real.
Oh,
And it was like, there's so many things. I'll kind of bullet point it, but I went with a friend, a mentor actually, and in that was surreal in itself, that I was going alongside with
yeah.
this other, well-known medium and all of that. And I'm not one to take selfies. Let's just say that. And it's pouring buckets, and there's thunder, there's lightning. I meet this lovely person from California who has become a dear friend of mine. We're outside the gates. We're getting soaking wet. Finally, the gates open. We go into the onto the property, and I get this
The gates
hit.
open. This is getting better.
Literally, the gates open, and I get this hit. I hear it, take a selfie, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just in it. So I say to my friend, I said, do you mind if I take a picture of us? And she's like, what? I'm like, just please. So we're standing in front of the retreat, the main building, and I take a picture and I leave that alone. Anyways, on afterwards on review, and I'll have to post some of these pictures,
Yes.
full apparitions of like spirit, like so many that it's like, anyways, that's not even getting into the seance, where I would say one of the moments that I mean, which one do I want to share? Okay, the children. So in this physical seance, in the center, and it's a screening process. Like we went through a metal detector, we got patted down, we had to leave all of our personal belongings. We go into this sterile room. There's the physical medium, and so it's a process so that
Yeah.
nobody can slip, something in or whatever. So we
Right.
get in there, we choose our seats. I actually think they were assigned for us, but there's all of these toys in the center of the room. There's a cabinet. So if anyone is unfamiliar with how a physical medium would work, they would be
In the cabinet,
in
right?
in restraints around their
Yeah,
ankles
they're in
and their
restraint. They're
hands.
totally.
They're literally in this
Yeah.
cabinet with all of these blankets and stuff, or curtains around it. And there was all these toys in the center of the room. And so how you start to bring up the energy to raise the vibration is we're singing, and you're singing all of these little nursery rhymes and this and that. Well, all of a sudden there's movement, and and they've done all of these, they've put that tape, because it's pitch black, and they've put this tape around, like, that glows in the
It
dark,
goes in the dark.
around the hula hoops and the toys and the trumpets and the horns and the drums and all of this. Well, they start to move and they start to make sound. Well, it almost becomes overwhelming how loud all of this stuff is happening, and we're all holding hands. The room is absolutely locked. There's no other way in. The physical medium is in the cabinet, under restraints. And so your mind's kind of going like, well, he must have got out. He must have escaped. Like, he must be doing this. But then things started to occur where the hula hoop was moving over here, and there's the feeling of a little child's hand, and the
Yeah.
feeling of a little child's hand
Yeah.
on your knee versus an adult's hand. There was a little child's, like, fingers touching my knee. There is hula hoops moving, there's balls moving, there's drums going. There is no way that one person, if he did escape from the cabinet, would be able to make all of that occur. It still blows my mind. Even, I mean, it's one of
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It, that's a lot of work for a physical medium. Like, I'm just grateful that I'm not a physical medium,
Yes.
because that's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot on
It's
them. But to
it is very
experience that, you guys,
taxing.
if you ever get a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott Milligan, he used to be a tutor at the Arthur Findlay College, and he since has moved to, he mainly teaches out of Banyan Retreat, but one of the world's best physical mediums, and phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So Thanks for turning that question around. I love it.
Yeah. I'm like,
So
I'm
good.
failing at answering this question. Let's see.
So good. So Debbie, I would be curious how, because I think that a lot of people could potentially relate to, because we've all experienced different levels of grief. We experience grief. So I'm curious how grief has played a part in your spiritual journey.
It's definitely one of those awakening moments for me, like a huge awakening. Because I had created a very safe and comfortable life for myself. What I thought was safe, what I thought was comfortable. And when I feel like you're talking about when I lost Ben. So when I lost Ben, I went into that the depths of grief. Really coming to the end of myself and having to make huge decisions, because you think that you're safe and you think that you've created this this perfect life. But then when something like that happens, everything kind of comes to the surface that is ugly and not true and false. Like you've created this illusion, and nothing. It's almost like you can't bear another day living a lie of any kind. Grief taught me that. And so from that point on, I chose life, because I was basically the walking dead until that point, thinking that I was, and I, keeping, very safe, because I had a traumatic childhood. And so then you come into where you feel like you have more control. So you make it as safe as possible. You know what I mean? You make it so it's comfortable in all ways. But yeah, grief kind of changed that. Makes you face everything that's false, and you don't have the ability to live that way, false, when you face such grief.
Thank you for that. I mean, and that's the duality in everything. And so, yes, grief, like the worst case scenario, and then our ability to see it also as the gift. And not everybody will, but knowing that we can, and in that, it's like that really can take something. And I'm sure it can look very, very different for people.
For everybody. And the timing of it too. Like, it wasn't overnight. I mean, I don't think I did grief very well.
Yeah.
But I got through it,
Yeah.
and then on this side of it, you still, grief is part of your, it becomes part of you, and how you do it every day. And so.
Yeah. Well, I hope that speaks to someone that, I mean, because there's struggle in it, and hearing other people, how they go through things can be really inspiring. So I appreciate that you share that with us. Your guides, it comes across so effortlessly in your connection with your guides. And so I'm curious if you have some tips for people that are looking to create relationship or a deeper connection with their guides. What would you say?
So, my spirit, I call it my spirit team, because I feel like there's, definitely help guide and do that kind of thing. But there's so much more to it. So I always don't always want to limit it to the word guide, like the spirit team, and it's kind of open-ended there. But it's the faith and trust and acknowledging fact that your spirit team is there to help you work through the challenges you wanted to this lifetime, to help you bring in more that you want to bring in. Like if you want to be a reader, or if you want to be a person that brings messages to people, even if it's just writing a card to them, and you want to bring through a message on that card and hand it to them. The fact is that your spirit team wants to talk to you. Fact. They want to communicate with you. They want to help you and assist you as you are here in this plane. So for me, it was understanding that it was a fact. And so I'm not the one that like can name my spirit team's names or anything like that. I feel that limits them if I put a name on it, but that's just me. I understand that people love that connection. I talk to Fred every morning, and Fred brings that, and that's okay. And I love that. I absolutely adore that. But for me, I can't, I just can't. The only one I know is Yeshua. And that's just something that, because it's very personal to me, and it's been a lifetime. It's been since the first moment I knew anything. So that's why I know for a fact. And I can tell when others come in, to help out. I know that the Mother Mary came in after my son died several times. And that was because of the loss of a son, right? And that healing that she brought in, and that understanding, and that love, right? That connection. So those are times I know, like that kind of thing. But
I love it. And that's the thing, it can look so different, and that's so perfect. The less we put these kind of parameters around, like we have to name them and know all their attributes and this and that and that. I can relate. I don't either. I can sense them, and I know that they're there. What I love about it, and you kind of mentioned this, is that unconditionally they are there and will continue to be there, always have and always will. And that's a beautiful thing. And it's a call to, it's an invitation for us to be in the participation, because it's like, if they're picking up the phone and they're phoning all the time, but we're not picking it up or returning the call, or in that it's a two-way. So in that, we have to be in the participation as well. What inspires you?
You do.
Oh, bless.
The family does. People, humans. And we are in the trenches together here in this life. And it's very much, for me, very similar to if you talk to people who have fought in wars, that they fought for the person next to them. That's what kept them going. And so this is what inspires me, is the person next to me in the trench. So that's you, and that's the family, that's humans. And expansion, and knowing that there's so much, and wanting people to experience that themselves as well. Not only helping them out in the trench, but giving them the tools to help the person next to them, right? But that human experience, everyone, we're in the trenches together. That's what gets me up every morning, is knowing that we have another day ahead of us in the trench. Let's help each other out.
It's so beautiful. One of the many beautiful things there are many beautiful things about you. One of the beautiful things about you, for me, is when you speak, I can feel what you're saying. And sometimes I think we can say things and do we really mean it? Do we really live it? And when you share things like that, I have this like unwavering knowing of how in your truth and how authentic you are in that. And that's something that before I even connected with you, just watching you, I felt about you, that you are so clear and true to, I would assume that your purpose in life goes back to you in that recognition of wanting to help people. And I don't know if that was on this one or when we were live before, but that
Our last
you're,
live.
yeah, but that call, that knowing that you wanted to help people, because you said you said that there was a likeness in that with myself, and that
Oh, yeah.
has always been there.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's a great place. So just one other thing about your offerings right now, because I think you're, well, you tell us. I know you do classes. I know you do readings one-on-one. If you could just kind of share what that looks like, would be
Yeah. So
wonderful.
I do the YouTube, of course, that you all know that. Uh, I also, Kim from Intuitive View and myself, we offer classes. We do have one last class this year that we're offering, and that's the master class. It is limited to a small class because we want that more intimate time together. And there's a certificate at the end and everything. That's coming up. It starts on November 1st. And is 5 weeks. It's 2-hour class for 5 weeks on Tuesdays. So that's coming up. I do offer one-on-one. You can go to my website and you get to schedule yourself. I set it up so you can find something that fits you and schedule in for that. If you are a member of my channel, and I see some here, we do a Zoom meetup once a week, and just in support of one another. I do more of a personal readings there. Suzanne, blessings.
Oh, Suzanne, thank you.
Um,
So kind.
And so in support of one another. So it's become this beautiful little community of the members on my channel coming together in support of one another. And and that is on the channel there too. What else?
Your cards.
Oh, my cards. Thank you for
Your
reminding
cards.
me
Yes.
as I'm looking right at them. Yeah, so, please. I was just thinking about it too, because, we have to invest in these things first before they go out. It's not like, so, yeah, please, if you haven't, these are fun cards. They are Lenormand cards with keywords. But I also, and here's one to look at. So you have the stork, and then you have the keywords and the card that it is aligned with there. I also added 16 oracle cards. I mix them together because I feel like it just adds to the Lenormand reading. And so, yeah. Here's some more examples. Here's the man. I know a lot of you have already seen these, but you can see there's the keywords and there's the man and the woman, the tree. So anyways, if you're familiar with Lenormand, or if you're not, it'd be a great way to learn it. If you're familiar with it, it's just a fun one to add to it, I think, of course. And here's what the back looks like.
Lead with love.
Terry, blessings to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
And they are, I had a series of them out before. These are $10 cheaper because they're not coming in a big box. They're not coming in that 10 box. They just come like this. So, and I ship them all out of here. I write you a little note and say hi. And like that and get them out to you.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you
And
for
those,
asking about that. I
yeah.
was
Are
sitting
those
here
through
looking
your
at it.
website or is it through
You can
email?
go through my website and get the information on that. But Terry, if you could write down my email that people can just click on if they want. It's the Freebird office at gmail.com.
Perfect. And that, I'll add that to the description box as well, because I don't think I did. I've got your website and your channel, but I will add that after the live. I'll just say a couple of little things and then we'll get into some readings.
Okay.
If you are, where's my little list there? The workshop that I'm holding, Jake saying hi to everybody in the background.
Okay.
Hi, Jake. The workshop that I'm holding with Kyla, the breathwork expert, is happening on Saturday, the 22nd of October. All of this info is in the description box. Seascape, thank you so much.
Seascape,
so kind. The workshop will be from 4 o'clock till 6:30 Pacific Daylight Time, and it will be via Zoom. You'll get the information, the link, all of that preparation stuff a few days before. We still have a few seats open for that, so if you feel called to check that out. If you need more information, Kyla's information is under, she was on my channel a few days ago. In that video as well, all of the information of what it looks like, a little bit more of the details, and then her contact if you have other questions. I'm also doing my giveaway up until the 22nd for 5,000 subscribers. So if you'd like to be entered into that free reading giveaway, you can either do that in two different ways. One is after this video, if you leave a comment under the video that you'd like to be entered into it, we'll enter you that way. And if you'd like to email at thehealingmediumcontest at gmail.com, that's in the description as well, you'll get a second, or if you choose to do one or the other, you can get up to 2 entries into that. And then, which is exciting. And then, perfect. That's awesome. She did that there.
Constance and Terry put up my thank you guys. Thank you, you guys.
Wonderful. And then the last little thing is I am actually fully booked for this year for personal readings, but I've opened up my calendar for mid-January till the end of March. And I've got a couple dozen openings at this point left. So if you feel called to work with me in that way, my website is the way that you would do my booking, and you do it all now. So we've got that all taken care of. So wonderful.
Thank you, Terry.
So kind, Terry. Love you all. Okay. Shall we do some readings?
Let's do it. Yes.
I love it. Oh, this one question that I had started this earlier, Debbie. Tracy was curious if you have any relatives who are also psychic.
I believe that there are, but they wouldn't recognize that. There was never any recognition. So I was adopted as well. So I don't know many, on that level. I wasn't able to watch them or, that kind of thing. And so, but some of the brothers and sisters that I have met, I can see that it's obvious that they're very intuitive and they have that if they wanted to dive into it. But I don't know if my mom passed when she was 44 and my dad as well, young. So I don't know. And I knew one of my grandparents and like that. So I don't have that history to go, oh, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
But
I mean, we all have the ability.
We all
have psychic ability.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And just, it makes me think about the languaging around it, where you were sharing that. I don't know which live that was on either, but you were sharing about how things have evolved within the language of,
yeah.
what we're doing. And in that, my grandma Shirley, she was just into the woo woo, or she was like squirrely Shirley. So that was also people recognizing her abilities. So
Yeah.
I laugh at that, and I
Right.
take it,
The woo-woo,
but
yeah.
it's all right. So we will close the questions because we've got more than we actually will get to. But I'm on at least once a week, and Debbie is as well. And so
I'm on a
there will
lot.
be
Yeah.
other opportunities to get your questions, but wonderful. We will start. Oh, that's so funny. Guess how many I start? And not that we will get to them, but
22.
There you go. There you go.
His favorite number, guys.
22. So good.
222. Master Builder. Master Builder. The Master Builder's at 22. You know that, right?
Okay.
In numerology.
There we go.
What's your number? What's your life path number?
9.
A 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a 9. How about you?
I'm an 11.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But 9 is, wow, okay. I didn't expect that from you. I thought you'd be 11. I don't know. I just
well, but here I'm a Gemini, so maybe one part of me is 11, one part's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I bet if I did your whole chart, because I can take your name and I can do your whole numerology chart, you probably have a bunch of 11s in your chart.
Oh, I'd be
Wendy's
curious.
an 11 too. Sherry's 11. Yeah, we have a bunch. That makes sense to me that you all are 11s in here.
Right?
Totally. So, and 9, yeah, you've really. Yeah. Are you coming back? Do you think you're going to come back? Do you think you're done? You think you're done with this stuff?
No, I go with, I think I'm coming back.
Okay,
yeah. And that's more out of like curiosity, because I'm like so many things, like when you were talking about being like the why child and asking the questions and being curious and inquisitive. I'm like, yes to all of that. And I just, I always want more. I always want to learn and continue. So my feeling around it is, yeah, I will.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
we got a question.
It's a life path number, and if you're willing to share your whole birthday, all your birthday number, like, is it May 2nd, 19 whatever?
Yeah.
I can help you with that, Ronnie. All right. So Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
I like the picture change. Do you see his little doggy?
Smoking the cigar. My good friend Jimmy passed in July. He's shown up in my dreams several times. Does he have a message for me? Interesting. I'm not surprised he's showing up in your dreams. I feel you're very like dream connected. And so him showing up in that feels not surprising in the least. Just going to move this along. Jimmy.
Okay. All right. Jimmy. He says mostly he looks at me with a knowing smile on his face. Yeah. Would you have considered him a little bit of a I don't want to say loner, but he's kind of showing me at a gathering of some sort, and there could be like a little fire pit going on. He'd be over at the fire pit sitting by himself while everybody's over here. But he was willing to engage and be with people, but he was kind of that. He's showing himself a little bit separate. So I'm trying to understand that symbol from him. But very, he has a deep sense to him of, he seems, when you're with him, he just seems so kind and present. And love, full of love. But I'm curious to know that whole kind of, yes, okay. Yeah, because when he was engaging with others, he totally present, but he still felt a little separate. But that's not the message. I just wanted to make sure I was talking to Jimmy. You can go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah. Wayne, would you understand him? Because I feel like that separateness in as far as being that reserve that Debbie was talking about, but in that it was like the connection that you and him had, that you and him have. It was like, oh boy, the stories would start going. So it was like like the connection that you had, that you have with him. I don't know why I keep saying had, but that you have with him was very different than he had with a lot of people, in particular around the communication and the conversation, and the energy that it feels like. It feels quite lengthy, so it feels like the brotherhood, or I don't know if it's a connection with the service or something about work that you have in common with him, but it's like he just shows me like the beer mugs, and it's like they're clinging together. I get this feeling like he actually had an appreciation for things as detailed to the taste of like the beverage that he's actually sipping. Yeah, the actual. Okay. But yeah, it feels like a deep brotherhood bond between you.
Yeah, he actually considers you. In fact, I would have thought he was your brother, the way he came up. In a message, I asked him, he keeps coming to you, but it's more when he comes to you because of that connection, that familiar, him just showing up in your dream. You wake up and you're like, oh, I just spent some time with Jimmy. That's why he comes to you in your dream. However, in your dreams, because he wants you to know he's there. And so even when you're not dreaming, he's around you. So look for those signs. Look for him. Feel him, and talk to him. He's showing me like a, and this could be symbol, but papers, and like you're focusing on details of this and details of that, and he's like, what, leave the details, because you're missing the whole picture over here because you're so focused on trying to work out the details. And so he wants you to kind of there might be something about faith in this, not and what I mean by that is have faith in a situation or whatever. Don't try to understand all the details. Just kind of embrace the whole picture of something. And so I don't have the context to this energy, Wayne, but that's one of the messages he's bringing through.
I think that plays into the message that, so I feel like it's a repeat, but I'm going to repeat it. So him just really not sweating the small stuff. So that's the energy that he's bringing through. It's like, there's some, before I forget about this, is there's some, there's mention of an eagle. So I don't know if the eagle's a part of the dream, will be a part of the dream, but there's something about, it keeps showing me the eagle. And it feels in that kind of, between realm, if you will. So in that, I think it's connected to the dream. And then just this feeling of, okay, back to don't sweating the small stuff, and then rising above like the fray of things. So in that, I feel it's like his perspective of how it's like, okay, worrying about this or not worrying about that feels like the message that he wants to bring to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm resonating with, you had the better words for what I was looking at, but that's exactly what it, yeah, that's what he's saying.
And he's, okay. He says he's very resourceful. That was like just a lot. He just was acknowledging his own resourcefulness. So I don't know if you can connect with that, meaning like there's areas where you could be more resourceful. I don't know. It kind of feels like tongue in cheek that he was just saying that. But
he's jabbing him. He's a little jab.
Totally. And I love that, just that lift in the energy with that. So we will leave you with that, Wayne. Thank you for your question.
Big hugs, Wayne.
Yes, indeed.
I talked to him and I think he's been messing with it. Yeah. That makes sense with the big jab he's doing over here. Yep.
It's so nice. We don't, I mean, the gentlemen are out today.
I love it. I love it. And before we get to Richard, I do want to say a lot of people put their birthdays in. So I want to tell you how to do this on, because there's too many for me to calculate on my own. So I'm going to just tell you how to do this. So everybody write your birthday down. So you're going to just do, okay, I'll do one here. Let's say it's 2, and then that 1958, someone put in here. So I'm just going to show you. So you're going to have, this is what it'll look like, but you want all your numbers. So then you're going to calculate down. So I'm going to calculate these 2 down. So that becomes a 4, right? So those 2 numbers become that 4. You want to calculate it down to 1 number, and then you calculate the other down. So that becomes a 14. Okay. And then calculate that down, and that becomes a 5. So you want to keep calculating it down to 1 number. So now you are adding the 4 and the 5, and that becomes a 9. And your life path would be a 9 if this is your birthday. So that's how you calculate it down. Kelly's a 5. So you always calculate down to 1 number, unless you're an 11 or a 22 or a 33, I think might be one as well. Then you keep it at that 11.
Thank you for showing that. I always forget how to do it. I remember that I'm a 9, but I'm like, how did I get that? So thanks for breaking that down.
Yeah.
Richard, do my guides have a message for me?
Okay, so Richard, they're showing me like you've been grinding away at something, and so again, this is just kind of like a metaphor for those of you who don't know how a lot of times I'll get metaphor, but like a grinding away, like you've been grinding away at, and it's not producing the results that you are hope, like it's resulting. It's just not as much as you had hoped for. And it's almost like encouraging you to continue to do it. I'm watching and I'm like, is he gonna, are they encouraging him to walk away? But they're like, no, just keep going. And all of a sudden it's just gonna kind of like happen. Or the results or whatever, wherever this fits for you, it's going to come in there.
I got a little lightheaded, just connecting with your energy, Richard, in the aspect of your crown chakra. So because it feels very expansive and so open, they're just saying to bring some of that energy, some of that light down into like your grounding.
So you're answering the rest of this because he's saying, I'm trying to communicate with my guides, and he keeps trying and trying.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, kind of like dripping.
I literally got, like, my eyes felt like I was, if I was standing up, I might have fallen over. So it's perfect. So really be into the grounding. So deep into your root chakra. I don't know if you wear red, have anything red, any stones that are red, bring in the red to really be in the grounding, as well as the things that can ground you. So whether that be nature, meditation, just being in the stillness. It's interesting. The grind, I get that feeling too, where it's like, even though you've been in the grind of it, it does feel like a bit of a halt and a standstill. But what they're saying is that you're still in the flow. So when it was reminding me of when Debbie was talking about the things that we can see as real that are actually, it's not that they're not real, but they can be an illusion. And in that, the encouragement is to continue to be in the flow. There's a lot of change around you. So sometimes just being on the choice side of all of the change, it can be overwhelming. So it's like back to the breath, be in that grounding. And the changes and the stuff that you've been kind of grinding away and trying to create, if you will, is happening. So that's what's coming through for you.
Yeah. And I know it's been a little bit bumpy, but things will smooth out for you. It will. And the encouragement here with that 7 of Swords there, it's like that communicate, go ahead and take what comes, and that's okay. You don't have to have you don't have to have it all to grasp on and start that flow that he's talking about. Just take what comes in and that you're grasping onto, and hold space with that. But yeah, don't worry. It's all of a sudden, it's just going to really click and you're going to really start flowing. And, trust. This is trusting and healing and understanding. So, some of the challenges that we have in this communication are our own, because they're communicating. It's our own challenges, our own blocks and so forth. And sometimes it takes a little bit of that little more healing. But guess what? That connection is, look at that. The 2 of Cups and the Lovers. That connection is going to be, and you are connected. They're also reminding you are connected fully, and they're connected fully with you. It's a fact. We just talked about that. Right? It's a fact. Yeah. I love this for you, Richard.
Yes, exciting. And thank you for being here, and thank you for your question. Again, if you haven't subscribed to Debbie's channel, Freebird Spirit, head over there and subscribe. We're trying to get her to 1 million subscribers.
Exactly. Please subscribe. It's so funny. I mean, I bumped up over that 8,000, which I was super excited finally to do. And then it bumped back, like it's so low. I'm like, it went up to like 8,025 or something. Now it's like down to 8,003. Or I'm like, how did that even happen? I don't even know.
You know what happened to me too around when I did the 5,000, because I had announced the contest and then I went like way below 5,000. I was like, okay.
How does that happen?
I don't. I don't know. It's so funny.
Now
Kind
you're
of
way
made me
ahead.
laugh.
You're way above it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm secure. That's why I've
Yeah,
announced
you're
the
secure.
contest. I'm like, okay, we'll go ahead with the contest.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. I'm like,
Alrighty. Sunshine, how can I? And just to let you guys know that I'm just being drawn to where I'm being drawn to, and Spirit's just like making me go to the question. So it's not necessarily in the order that they were received. So I appreciate it when you are holding the space for other people that are getting their question
yes.
read, and that if it feels like it's for you, I
Thank
was
you, Ronnie.
reading with Susan Lynn, and it just felt like there was so many people that were sharing that they were connecting to the message. And I love that, because sometimes we won't understand it all, but when things speak to you, then they are for you as well. So really just being open to that, as I know you are, just feels so wonderful. So Sunshine is asking a message from Spirit. Thank you in advance.
Grateful for any message from Spirit. Thank you in advance. All right, Sunshine.
They're saying here, Sunshine, I think it's partly that yellow I can see in your aura, which is so bright and illuminating, and in that people will come to you for counsel, they're saying. So just being such that bright light is so attracting for people. And so in that, always kind of being in the contribution and giving and wanting to help is wonderful. And they're saying don't change that. Just being mindful of allowing yourself those types of people as well, so that people that you can be in the receiving of their counsel and support feels really good. So kind of that reminder of community for you. Yeah.
And I like that, Kevin, that reminder of community for her. I'm feeling, Sunshine, there's been a little bit of a funky funk for you, like I'm feeling a little bit like it hasn't been sunshiny days. Constant thank you, blessings to you. It hasn't been like that sunshiny days or something for you, but it's been a little bit, you've had a little bit of a bumpy road as of late in some area, and I don't have context for this, but so hopefully you do. They're showing a path that's going to be opening up for you coming up. This is not forever where you're at right now. This feeling of I don't know if it's, I don't want to go as rough as suffering, but this will end wherever this fits in for you, and the path will be opening up.
Mm-hmm.
Things are shifting, and okay. You can, if you want to play a part of this, it's addressing the narrative that you're in and making changes to that narrative, co-creating your life, right? Yeah.
I love it. It just, I could feel the energy kind of slow down there and just go really inward. And in that stillness, they're saying that they're hearing your prayer. They're hearing your prayer and they are being answered. There's that victory feeling around it. So what you've, they're saying challenged with is in the resolve. And so two beautiful cards. One, the Winter's Dream card, just that gestation period where we can go inward. And it's like this, oh, it's so beautiful. It's like the snail shell. So just sometimes being in that retreat and going inward is the invitation from spirit for you. And then the singing and dancing card, which is just that joyful expression, and you and your fullness of your self-expression is, the singing and the dancing. So it doesn't have to be, they're showing it doesn't have to be all or nothing in that. So just acknowledging what you're going through feels really good in that victory and that celebration. Yeah, you're celebrating is what they're saying. So
Yeah, I like that. And I do see this something new coming in for you. So they're just saying, just breathe through this. It is not forever. And then I don't know how this fits, but at the bottom of the deck, I do have the house and the man. So I don't know. The home can be just like, it's going to be that grounding, that stable's coming in. And so I don't know if this is just like whether it really represents someone or if it's just really connecting to that masculine energy within yourself, connecting in with that and finding that stable ground for you. But yeah, it's shifting. Your path is shifting. Blessings to you, sunshine.
Thank you so much for being here. And Constance, thank you for your donation. That's so kind. Norberto, Laura, so on the 11th day at 11:11 a.m., a butterfly was flying around me. Was this a message from spirit or a family member? Thank you. I'm going to say on the 11th day, I'm going to say yes, yes, and yes.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. This family member.
I'm getting a fatherly energy around you that I'm aware of.
Fatherly or unclely, something in that realm.
Yeah.
Norberto.
Are you still here, Norberto?
I don't know if you've been questioning some of your choices or your path or something like that, and they're saying, yeah, this is you made a switch here, and they are supporting that. They want you to know they support you 100% on this path. I don't know if you've adjusted something or chosen something, or I don't have that context, but they are in support of this. He said, yes, I am. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Would you understand the dad in spirit, fatherly energy in spirit?
It's almost like he might not have made these same decisions in his life while he was here, but he's saying he is in 100% support of whatever you are doing.
I think it's dad. I feel
okay. Yeah. Well, yes, he said yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Because he comes in really strong, and he's like, there's something in your life where you actually just need to hear this. And I feel like his direct way of his communication is something that you will resonate with. It's like, it's in connection to your dreams. So it takes me back to when you were a child, and these, it's like the Walt Disney and like wishing upon a star and wanting to live your dreams. He's saying that for now. So it's like, do it. And he's like pointing his finger, and it's this encouragement and support to do it. That the Pinocchio. Oh, it's so perfect. They're so beautiful. So the Pinocchio, it's like Pinocchio and the stories of we can't do it. It's too late. It's this and that and all of that. He's saying, just put that on the shelf. He's saying that actually now is the perfect time. So in whatever that call to live your dream, and it's not to say that you haven't been, but there's more. And so he's just really encouraging you to do it in this moment. So feels very joyful.
Oh, and you know what? I'm
Mm,
getting here, Kevin, just really kind of a lot of emotions
mm.
right here with this, that um, you are my son. And I am so proud to call you my son. You are my son, and he wants to show the world. It's that energy he's bringing in, and I have a sense he might not have been fully like that when he was here, maybe, but right now, that's where he's at. You are my
Mm.
son, and he's holding you. He wants to show the world. I love that Pinocchio thing that you brought in, because I literally, it's bam.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
All right. Did you want to add anything else, Debbie, or?
No, that's, yeah, I have two beautiful cards coming in here that he brought in. I asked if he wanted to bring some cards in for you as well. The Wheel of Fortune and the World. And those two coming in together are just so beautiful, that as you move forward, and it's like, this is your time to be on top of the world, everything, and he's in support of you. It's like he wasn't before, and now he is. That's, I keep getting that, so I have to keep revisiting that, and he's so proud to call you his son. And so there's the emotion behind it is, I feel like he feels a little bit, yeah, he's showing me his hands in his pockets, so that means he was kind of, he might not have expressed it the way you needed it when he was here.
So beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful energy. Thanks to Dad. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Norberto. Thank you for your
Yeah,
question.
blessings to you.
Thank you for bringing Dad and his energy. I felt like lots of people felt that. I feel that spoke to many people, including myself. So beautiful. So beautiful. Did I read this correctly? Did Angela Lansbury pass? Someone? Did they write that earlier?
Angela Lansbury. I have to look that up.
I think that's what I read earlier, and I'm just being reminded of that, which is curious. Did your dad watch her on TV? What was that show? Murder, She Wrote, or something?
Angela Lansbury.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, she wrote Murder.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote, dies at 96.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah,
She's,
that is
Chris says yes. Okay. Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, yeah, I used to love Murder, She Wrote.
Are you okay to tune into her? I feel like she wants us to tune into her. Yeah. Because I think I don't think this. I'm feeling she got excited about the relationship. So when we're talking about father with Norberto, there was something in it. It's like the feeling of going back to, yeah, okay. So not always being able to be in the full self-expression, and then the impact and what we're left with. So sometimes we don't know how people feel because they haven't expressed it. And it's not to say that they didn't feel like we kind of wanted them to, and what we were left with by not hearing. So I feel there's a similarity for her within her relationship with her father. And so she's going, yeah, there's a likeness in that. And so the inspiration, she's talking about the inspiration. And so she wants to bring through inspiration for people. Okay, tell me more.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. She's showing herself with a wand and going like this, like she's and she's singing some Betty Bee Booty Bops type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Was she not also? Was she something in? I don't know. Was there a connection to Cinderella?
Oh, I don't know. I've only seen her in Murder, She Wrote, so I don't know. But she's showing me this thing of this, and it's kind of like when you were saying that, that's what she's showing me. She's spreading it around. She's spreading the magic. She's spreading that around.
What is Chris Wickens saying? Bed knobs and
Bed
broomsticks.
knobs and broomsticks. I
I
don't
don't know
know
what
that.
that is.
I
She
don't
was
know
in a
that.
Disney movie. Was she in? Oh, she was in Beauty and the Beast. Oh, okay. That Disney kind of, yeah, interesting.
I don't know. Oh, she was on Broadway too. Okay. Betty
Oh,
Bee
okay.
Boppity Boo. Yeah, that's what I was hearing her say, but it's
Yes.
all symbol, so I don't know. So I saw her on Murder, She Wrote. That's all I've seen her in, but I thought she was really good in that. But yeah, I love it. She's it's wanting to spread the love. I think she's like the most important thing that we have is love. Keep spreading that message, she says. Keep spreading that message. Don't die and miss out of your experience. We get this experience right now, so don't miss out. She said, don't. Yeah. I like her. She's
That's curious. She's showing me a well, and I can't see the bottom. It's really, really dark. And she's taking me back to when we were talking about like wishing upon a star and kind of looking up and outward.
okay.
And so tell me more. It's about going inward. So within our dreams and the feelings around it, she makes me feel like she went very inward in her life and was very introspective, and always felt like she was sticking to who she was and where she was kind of feeling called from, less about where people externally were kind of directing and maybe suggesting. It felt like she was very in tune with herself and that knowing. And so that's the depth of the well that I'm looking in. It's like the call to go inward. She really, you talked about the love. She was that demonstration, and she feels like she really loved herself, which is such a beautiful thing.
I'm getting
right?
chills on that, Kevin. I'm getting chills on that.
Yeah, she really loved herself, and that's something that
she's like, if I want to wear pink, I'm wearing pink. You tell me to wear blue and I want to wear pink, I'm wearing pink. That type of filter. She's like, she knew herself very well. And yeah, that's wow. I'm definitely chills on that. Beautiful.
So good. Interesting. Well, that's a very unexpected guest.
Right? Wow.
So good.
Thank you for coming in. She actually is very kind.
Yeah. She feels very supportive of this. I'm going to say that as well. No,
Yeah,
she's like, she. Yeah.
Wow. She must have kind of been into this.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Shall we do one or two more here? I'm just being mindful of our time. Maybe we'll do one more, Debbie, because we've only been on for 4 hours. I told you.
I know. You warned me. 4 hours. I know. For those of you who popped in later, we had been on for 22 minutes without it being live. We thought we were live, and then came on. So we've been on for a while. I think she was connected to Roxanne. I think she had a bit of that intuition stuff. Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote is still on. All right, DJ. I love the sand dollars. The sand dollars caught my eye.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah.
I love that. Hello, Kevin and Debbie. If you're still here, a message from Spirit. Absolutely.
Is DJ still here?
That's a great question.
I think DJ came in when we did 5 hours ago.
DJ, are you still here?
DJ.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yep.
That's right.
DJ is here.
She. Okay, perfect. It's I'll go right back to that, but no, this one here. Yeah, she wasn't intuitive and a psychic, if you will. You're totally right
Oh,
on
okay.
where
Yeah,
she
because
was.
she
Yeah.
totally was playing that out here. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin.
Good
Oh
to
my gosh.
know.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Willow.
Awesome. DJ.
After our conversations, what's that about? Willow.
I don't. What? What did I miss?
Willow. Okay. Okay. DJ. All right. Spirit message from Spirit. Yeah, DJ's been here since the beginning of time. Waiting for
The land before time.
Land before time for DJ. Thank you for hanging out. Looking it through. Lisa too. Lisa's hanging in there with us.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh, I'm just feeling some anxiety, DJ, around something. It's like good though, like I want to do this, and in the picture they're showing me, again, I don't have context, so they show me in like these little video clips, so metaphor, but it's almost like that feeling that you get if you're standing off stage and you're going on next. Like you're going to the mic next in front of everybody. It's that feeling right before going on. They want you to know it's good. It's all good. Just even though sometimes it's really hard to push through that. If you're standing on that side stage and you're going to that mic next, that is like the scariest spot. But once you step out and get in front of that mic, that dissipates. So again, this is metaphor. I don't have context. So whatever you're on the precipice of, that like it's going to dissipate, and things will smooth out for you. Are you getting any connection?
Yeah, I did feel my heart kind of flutter. In the anticipation, I get a hit around relationship. So I don't know if you would understand that around relationship. And it's interesting. I had just said the land before time, and the card that came up was the land between.
Oh my gosh.
And in that is so beautiful, because I think, yeah, okay. So the anticipation, or the little bit of uncertainty, anxiety around what that outcome looks like, it's don't let that stop you. So the fear is natural, and the anxiousness around it is natural. And in that, on the other side of it, is the excitement and the celebration of you being in that. So don't, and as humans, this is what we do. We struggle with the fear of things, and it stops us. We still have to recognize that we're in choice of that. So in it, yes, acknowledge what you're feeling, and continue on and move in it and move through it. And the other card that came through was, and this seems to be a bit of a theme, but going with the flow. Going with the flow, let things happen. So as they're unfolding, feels really good.
And Spirit wants you to know it's not going, whatever things in the past that are trying to prickle at you and say, well, if you know this happened before, when that is in the past, that's not going to happen again for you. I know that you've put a lot into this, and it feels like an uphill thing, or like a lot of work here, but whatever this has to do, and if this has to do with, because I got the Page of Cups coming in, this is like, that if it is about a relationship, that's that, like, taking it up a notch. But I just see that you've really, it really birthed something here. There's something here, whatever this is. I don't know again, we don't have context and I don't see that thank you, Constance.
Thank you, Constance.
I feel this is you have temperance and justice with this. So that's a real balance. This is a very spiritual connection. And you have the Empress. You have
wow.
And the Empress with it. So wherever this fits, I just feel like it's divine. There's a divineness to it. So go ahead and let it go with the flow. Let it go ahead and step in. This encouragement here. Things, yeah. And I don't see that DJ is commenting, so I don't know. But
oh, there we go.
I just moved. She's out. I'm trying to get settled. It's scary. Okay.
Yeah.
So go. It's a good place. So now we have a little bit of context, so we can help you with that Empress and the Justice and the Temperance. This is a divine placement for you. And I feel like things are going to settle in for you. It's a little bit of you feel a little bit on your own here, uphill battle a little bit here for you, a kind of burden that will pass.
Yeah. Yeah, the acknowledgement of what it took to actually create that move. They're acknowledging that for you, because that's sometimes the hardest part. And then what we're left with is, now you're just going to get into the groove and the routine and the newness, which is on the other side of the fear part of it, or that before. So pat on the back for that.
Yeah. And they want you to know this is not going to be something about something revisiting, like some old fears or something that's kind of haunting you back here. Kind of go ahead and let that go. It's not going to revisit whatever that is. I have to say it because it keeps coming back in here. So
I love that.
Well, blessings.
Wonderful.
Little move, DJ.
Congrats on that. And thank you for being here. Thanks for your question. And thank you, everybody. Debbie, this was wonderful.
It was so fun.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to be like, do you remember that time we went live, but we weren't really live? And then
we went live for 22 minutes exactly.
22 minutes. Go figure. I wouldn't want to do that with anyone but you. I mean, some people would be like, I'm out of here. Your time is up. But truthfully, thank you so much for what you bring and who you are. And I love you so much. I just want you to continue showing the world who you are. And so those million subscribers are going to happen. I'm just saying, call me psychic. And so if you do feel called to work with Debbie, her website, her email, I will add to the description box. There is still room in the November 1st 5-week, happens every Tuesday for 2 hours in the masterclass that her and Kim are teaching. So
so it's Psychic Medium Masterclass. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I'll write that in the description too.
If you feel like this is something that you want to advance in and make it into something you do.
And what's the timing on that one? What time does that go from?
I want to say it starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. Till 1 o'clock. Okay, I'll put that in the description as well so people know. Wonderful. Thank you both. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your questions and holding space for those that got readings. And I think there was a message for all of us today, and a special guest, very unexpected.
I know. How come
that was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm going to play my intro because I didn't get to play it at the beginning.
We're going to go out with his intro because we did. I thought it was the best intro ever. I loved it.
It also is doubling as an outro. So
we're going to do an outro.
Love to you
guys.
all.
Good to see you all here.
Bye-bye.